I'm Carolyn, Add to Cart Bath Hour, and I am so excited about our next guests and one of my favorite topics, holiday predictions and our current retail landscape. I'm joined by Kayla Schwartz, Director Industry Insights Salesforce, and Matt Ezek, Senior Director of Engineering E-commerce at Hanna Andersson. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Again, favorite topics. We were chatting before, lots of changes with retail. But Matt, let's start with you. Tell us a bit about Hanna Andersson and your role there.
Yeah, sure. Hanna is a premium children's apparel brand. We serve boys and girls from infant to age 12, and we are also the pioneer of the family match pajamas you see in holiday. And my role there as Senior Director of Engineering is I lead all of e-commerce technology. So that's building our Commerce Cloud site and then bolting on all the best in breed tools for it.
Well, you do a great job because as a professional aunt, no kids, I think they call me a pank. I love your brand, and the holiday pajama matching has been such a trend, so I am a fan of it. And so there's retail trends everywhere. So what's top of mind, Kayla, for retailers right now?
Yeah, it's a very interesting retail landscape. On the one hand, we have some very strong macroeconomic challenges that the industry is facing. I mean, we see it every day on the news, tariffs, the supply chain. It's a lot of uncertainty for retailers. And then on the other hand, we also have the consumer that's been facing a lot of economic challenges. How are they going to respond? What's on their mind? That's really what is driving retailers right now.
Yeah, so lots of challenges and fluctuating challenges. So specifically, Matt, for Hanna Andersson, what are some of the things you're facing right now?
Yeah, in the technology world, I'm really just trying to get us back to basics and making sure we have a great experience for our customers on the technology side that makes sure our site is fast and is performant, and you just have a great experience shopping with us. So that's really top of mind for me.
Yeah, so we love great experiences in shopping, and we talked about how those great experiences help us to buy more. So it's
we love it.
Yes, the technology drives that. So Kayla, you mentioned we are in unprecedented times. I think everybody is trying to figure out where to go, how to go, and then pivoting day by day.
Yeah.
So get your crystal ball out. Talk about trends and predictions for upcoming holiday season. What are you seeing?
Yeah, well, every year here at Salesforce, we put together our holiday predictions for retail. And so we're in that time again. And what we're really thinking about this year is what's happening with the consumer. Last year, we saw a shopper that was really stretched economically, and that really played out in how they bought, when they bought. We're seeing some similar trends right now. A consumer that's feeling a little bit of pain and they're being cautious. However, we do see some exciting things on the horizon. We see consumer optimism rising. We see financial situations improving, and we also are seeing consumers leaning back in to making those purchases. And so we're excited for this holiday. And one of the themes that we think will be really present is what we're calling discovery, how shoppers are discovering products and how they're discovering brands. And that leads us to our first prediction, which is that, it's going to be AI first product discovery. Shoppers are gravitating to these tools like our ChatGPTs, our Perplexities, our Meta AIs. They're leaning into these AI chat assistants, and they're discovering products. And so that's really exciting. That's really going to drive consumer behavior this holiday. And then speaking of AI, our second prediction is all about how AI agents are going to help unlock productivity for retailers. As we just talked about a few minutes ago, it's really hard economically. These tariffs and the supply chain is causing a lot of strain. And so unlocking productivity is really going to be key to keeping costs low. And that's where we see AI agents really being able to deliver. Our third prediction is about the journey. Unified commerce is where it is at, and this is going to be a driver of sales. When we talk about unified commerce, it's the whole journey. It's digital, it's physical. We know, and what's really interesting in our data is that even younger shoppers love going into brick and mortar stores. 79% of shoppers this holiday will shop in a physical store, but they're not just coming to that physical store. They're discovering across the journey. So they're discovering in social media, they're discovering in the AI chat assistants, they're using all of the tools at their disposal, and they're going into the store. And so Gen Z is actually going to lead all the generations in in-store shopping this holiday.
Wow.
Our fourth prediction is all about the tariffs and the supply chain. We couldn't get away without talking about that this year, and that's certainly going to be a theme. We see that There's actually two parts to this prediction. The first is going to be that promotionality is going to get cut back. So we're going to see fewer orders checking out with a promotion because cost, retaining margins, really going to be key. The other component is other avenues for sales. So resale is going to be a really big avenue for shoppers to save on some money, also help tap into that product availability. We might see, it might be harder to get certain items this year.
Yeah.
So that's an avenue for them as well. And then finally, our last prediction is about loyalty. We've seen customer loyalty on the rise in recent years. Shoppers are staying with their favorite brands. This year, the opportunity is with product quality. Not only do shoppers want to get the best price, but they want to get the best quality for their price. And that's new this year and something that we're watching and excited about.
That's amazing. So, Matt, are those predictions kind of in line with what you're seeing and what you're forecasting?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the AI product discovery. That's a space that's rapidly changing. It's fascinating for me to watch because we're just seeing people changing from searching on Google to going into like a chat GPT and using that for product discovery. But I also think it's important to understand too that is never going to be the case 100% because people love shopping, right? You're never going to take shoe shopping away from me online. I love clicking and browsing and what's the next Jordan I want to buy.
You're speaking my language.
I don't want to offload that, right?
Yeah.
But the things I don't like to do, I'm looking for ways to figure that out. So.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, Kayla, what are some of the biggest challenges retailers are seeing on the horizon? And then how can Agent Force help address some of those?
Yeah, building off what Matt was saying, the way that consumers are engaging with brands is changing so rapidly because of AI. And so how that brand relationship evolves is really what we hear from customers as being top of mind. And so thinking about your content, the content that you're creating on your website, out into the internet, how you're showing up for your shopper, that is really critical. The other component the other challenge that we're seeing is, and we've said this a lot, it's a key theme, maintaining those costs and keeping costs low. No one wants to raise their prices. And so how can we reduce costs? How can we tap into that productivity and efficiency through Agent Force? Really going to be a key opportunity for retailers looking to keep their costs down and keep their customers happy.
And it really helps with the margin question, right?
100%.
And it's always a very, very important piece of retail. And so keeping costs down helps keep those margins in place. And when there's things that you cannot control in your business, there's external economic factors, I think that's super critical. So that internal productivity, and I think too, it's about that productivity, but then also it delivers amazing customer experiences when you can give your employees the opportunity to really have the right data at the right time. So every interaction with a customer is positive. So you are all about all of the technologies. So where are you seeing it having the biggest impact? I know productivity is one, but then what do you think about the retail landscape in general?
Yeah, it's taking that the cycles away from the contact center too in the front end with customers, right? There's so many things that you can train an agent to take care of, whether it's a Wismo request, where's my order, or returns, right? So, and those are measurable. You can go and see like how many calls have we reduced in the contact center. That leads to better margins. That's better customer experience. That's a great place to start.
Yeah, and as a true high-end brand for children's clothes, there's a VIP level experience. Your VIP shoppers are helping your customers because you've recently made a pivot from brick and mortar. So digital is super important. So can you tell a little bit about that transition and how it's working for you?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was before my time because I'm a recent joiner there, but everyone went through the COVID challenges and we closed our stores like everybody and decided to take our store managers and make them personal shoppers. And it's been a really interesting experience. I think our shoppers really resonate with because some of them, just want to come in and shop on their own and buy, but a lot of them will say, hey, I need help choosing this. And we're seeing that from your normal customer, like the mom of one or two that wants to get like a great outfit for their their kids, or we have celebrity clients too. It's like really, really interesting to see it all run the gamut.
Yes, I love it. And you know what? Your digital experience is excellent. So
Thank you.
every time I go, I'm like, you can really understand what you're shopping for. So it's a really, really great site. So real quick, we've got about a minute left. What advice would you give to other companies that are looking to get ready for the holiday season and beyond, especially when it comes to agentic innovation? Kayla, we can start with you.
Yeah, well, it all comes down to data. And so an AI first shopping experience is only as good as the data that is underneath it. So thinking about how you're connecting all those data sources under the hood, how you're thinking about the content as well, creating good content so that, your customers are having the best possible experience.
And Matt, what about you?
Yeah, I think leaning into it, being experimental with everything that you're doing, and don't be afraid to jump in and try things like Agentforce. I mean, all this stuff is really new to a lot of brands, and I think a lot of brands are struggling with all sorts of different challenges where it makes it hard to really start doing something like that. But you gotta try. And for me, like it's a nights and weekends thing too. I want to always know what's going on in tech and be ready for it.
That's great advice. Thank you both so much. Salesforce and Hannah Anderson collaborating to deliver the best customer experiences across the retail landscape. Thank you, Kayla and Matt, for joining us. I feel better prepared for my favorite season of the year. If you want to learn more about Agentforce for Retail, just scan the QR code on screen or go to the link sforce.co/retailcloud.